You are now listening to the Building Her Dream podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with introverted women entrepreneurs who are building their dream lives and businesses on their own terms. Hosted by business operations strategist, author, and the founder of Building Her Dream, Shayla Burton. To learn more about this podcast and our magazine, visit www.buildingherdream.com. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm your host, Shayla Burton, and this is the Building Her Dream podcast. I'm so excited to chat with today's guest. She is a life coach dedicated to empowering high-achieving women to conquer personal and mental health challenges, enabling them to embrace their lives of joy, fulfillment, and inner peace. She is the founder of Crushing Goals with Karen. All the way from Maryland, we have Karen Walther. Hi, Karen. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Shayla. I really appreciate this opportunity to come on and talk with you and your audience members.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Now, if you've listened to this podcast before, you know that we're all about living the dream life and building businesses to help us have that dream life. So, Karen, I wanted to know if you could wake up tomorrow and have the perfect dream life, what would that look like? So, where would you be? What would you be doing? What's your dream?
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That is a loaded question. Well, first of all, I would be somewhere on the beach near nature, water. I would think, someplace like Florida or and maybe the Caribbean or someplace like that. But I would have a very slow morning where I will wake up with no set agenda, right? Just really and truly enjoying the movement of getting up in the mornings and slowly starting my day. It would include having breakfast with my husband, maybe serving 2 or 3 clients that particular day. It would include some journaling and some planning, of course, giving some time to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who's the reason why I am here and I am able to live my dream life. And then we will have a slow walks on the beach, a nice quiet dinner with a favorite glass of wine, and then go to bed. So very carefree, very, as I would say, easy peasy, not a lot of hustle and bustle.
I love that. Your dream is my dream. That's what I want to do. Live on the beach and then, wake up with no alarm clock and just go.
Yes.
Yes, that sounds awesome. So would you still work every day or a couple of days a week? What would that look like?
I would probably do something every day as it relates to work or my business. I would definitely make sure that I am doing something that I love. And I feel like when we are entrepreneurs, that's why we became entrepreneurs, because we want to do something that we love on our own time, where we're not subjected to the thought of checking in with someone every day. I can do it as I please, free will. If I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. That's I would still work, but according to my own terms and conditions, not to someone else's.
Yes, absolutely. Good. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your journey as an entrepreneur? Like, how did that start?
Oh, My journey as an entrepreneur, it really and truly tussled with me because um, I tussled with it for years and years and years. I was pretty traditional, where I graduated from high school, went to college, and got started my career. Very traditional, but there was always something burning in me to be an entrepreneur. I saw that in other people, and I never thought that I had the grit, the know-how to do it. So as I became older and mature, I realized my own strengths, and from that, I said, I'm gonna go ahead and take this leap. But my journey really started with the loss of my mom, and having her work all these years and not really be able to enjoy her years of work, because she retired, but she passed away before she was able to enjoy that retirement. Yeah. And that is what prompted me to decide that I want to live a better life. I want to live a wholesome life. I want to be able to work and enjoy the benefits and the fruits of my labor. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and impart that journey of becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you help women with completing their goals. So how did you discover that you had like a passion for coaching?
Well, it was through my own journey of finding love and trying to fill that void that I felt that was missing in my life. And that is when I myself embarked upon finding and hiring a dating coach. And that's how I was able to find and marry and fall in love with my wonderful husband. But it was through that journey of finding love that I realized that, you know, we as women, we go through so much hustle and bustle and wanting to enhance our careers and everything. And it was that self-awareness that coaching provided me in my personal life that I was so focused on it that I did not realize some of the things that was missing in my life. And it was through coaching that helped me reveal that and uncover that. And since then, I have really and truly been living my very, very best life. And so that's how I found out about coaching, and that's how I embraced coaching, because I, one, was able to embrace it in my own personal life. And I know there are a lot of women out here hustling, bustling, having something in their lives that they are missing just a little bit, and they are not having the right tools or strategies and techniques to help them live out their best life, whether they are entrepreneur or in a professional setting. So that's how and why I started coaching, because I really felt the need and I saw the benefits and the transformation that it had in my own personal life. And I know some women want that and just don't know how to go about doing it. Because I know being successful, highly educated, I couldn't figure it out. So I said, let me find someone who can, and that's how coaching became a part of my life and a part of my journey.
Okay. And that sounds, before we started recording, you had mentioned that a lot of us start our businesses based off of like what's going on in our lives, the need that we have. And so that's really cool that you've done the same. Now, so how does creating goals and completing those goals how does that help us live our best lives?
Well, we all have a burning desire to want to live our best life. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we go through it in a sense where we're doing it when people are telling us or advising us and things like that. And sometimes it becomes a conflict. And I say that if you want to live your best life, you really have to start within, right? You have to start within yourself to determine what is really and truly important to you, not what the world is saying is important to us, not what our moms and dad and coworkers and colleagues are saying, but what is really and truly important to you. And then you have to decide if that's what's important to you and that's how you're going to live your best life, then you have to decide what goals that you're going to set to help you achieve those things. And sometimes we have how can I say it, old mindsets that prevent us from living out our best life because we are not aware of our own inner power and our own inner strength that we have, the resilience that we have to actually achieve our goals. So when you think about your goals should give you a sense of freedom of living the life that you are destined to live, right? And when you're able to do that, and you're able to accomplish those things, then you are on your path to living your best life. And when we set goals, goals are not really designed. It's the outcome. It's the person that we are becoming when we set our goals and when we work towards them. So that is the key. So you have that where I am today. And when you set that goal is helping you to become who you want to be and where you want to be in the future. So that goal is helping you fill that gap.
Okay. That makes sense. What is like some common obstacles that you've noticed women facing when they're trying to reach their goals?
Well, the biggest obstacle that I think that women face is mindset. Having the right mindset towards your goal is so critical. Understanding your values, right? Understanding your values, not the values of others, but understanding what's really and truly important within you. And another big obstacle that I find is that sometimes we as women, we want to set goals based off of what maybe someone else may be doing, but you have to look at the season that you're currently in your life, in your goal setting journey, like someone that is starting off their career and someone who is getting ready to retire. Even though their goals may be to save money, to build wealth, the strategy in which how they do it may differ because they are at different seasons of their lives. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of women may struggle with is that that the season in your life really and truly can help you determine if that goal is really suitable for you right now, or if you need to adjust your strategy. So understanding where you are in your life journey, in your season of life is really critical in helping you to determine which is the best goal for you to set for the path that you want to help you move the needle forward. I hope that makes sense.
For sure. I definitely agree with sometimes we're looking at what other people are doing, because I know for me, sometimes my goals are really unrealistic. So like I'll say, oh, I want to earn $1 million this year when I've never even gotten $500,000. So
right.
But yeah, I guess I see other people doing it. So I'm like, yeah, I should be able to get there as well.
Right. And if the dream if it's in you, then you can definitely achieve it. But again, making sure that you understand your obstacles and where you are, because you can be a millionaire, but you may not be a millionaire within 6 months or within a year. I mean, that journey is longstanding. And so I always tell my clients, never doubt your goal, because if it's in you, then if you've thought of it, then you have the ability to achieve it. But how you do it, what strategies you're using, what mindset you have behind it, what values are you embracing as you go towards that goal, so that is key.
Yeah. Now, I've never thought about having a coach to help me with completing my goals. What is the benefit of hiring someone like you to help?
Well, one of the benefits of hiring a coach is different perspective, right? One of the things, different perspective, because when you're setting goals, it's like, it's just you, like you are so into your goals, is that you're trying everything. And when you hire a coach, or when you work with a coach, that coach helps give you a different perspective. You have a different ear, you have a different person to help bounce things off of, and just listen in to what it is that you're saying, and making sure that what you're saying, your actions are aligning. Coaches provide you with tools and strategies that you may not be aware of, that you can actually use to help enhance your goal setting journey. Coaches I like to consider myself your cheerleader, right? I am the coach that is going to encourage you, that's going to hold you accountable, that's also going to give you empathy when you need it, as well as grace. That's one of the things that I find that even in my goal setting journey, that sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves. We have to look at the whole picture. And that's one of the things that life coaches and coaches do in general, is that we look at the whole entire picture of what it is that you're trying to achieve, what obstacles you're facing, what wins you have done, what are the good things that you've done. Because sometimes in our journey of goal setting, we want to reach the goal so bad that we forget about our little wins, right? Those little things that really helps to keep us with the momentum of moving forward towards that goal. So those are the key benefits, I believe, for working with a coach.
Okay, that's awesome. And as a coach, you've likely witnessed incredible transformations and breakthroughs in your clients' lives. Can you think of like a specific success story or a memorable moment where a client achieved their goals or experienced that type of transformation?
Well,
Or if not a client, maybe you.
Okay.
Well,
I think that every great person, when you think about, all the greatness that we have in this world, the Michael Jordans, the Oprah Winfrey's, it's golf season, the Tiger Woods, they all had coaches, right? They all had someone to help them elevate them to the next level. I had a client who she was always busy. And she wanted to just take time to organize something really small, just to organize her space in a way that when she came home, she would feel relaxed and rejuvenated.
okay.
And she said, but my space is just, I just feel like it's so cluttered. And I talked her through and walked her through some steps that she could take. Don't look at all the other things around you. Just look at that one space that you want to come to every day and just take some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time frame that you have, to just work on that space. Just have that dedication to work on that space. And she did that without looking at all of the other things that was around her. She took a before picture, which she never decided to do before. She was like, I said, take a before picture and take an after picture every time you work in that space to remove it. And as she saw that, how that room was transforming, and every 10 to 15 minutes that she was working in that space, she was like, wow, this space is really becoming the space that I want.
Yeah.
So she removed all of the other things around that space that was distracting her. And she just focused on that. She took before and after pictures, not once a week, but every time you worked on it. And she put together a little collage of what it was before and what it was after. And then she sent me a photo and said, this is my space. And she said, wow, the whole entire house can be a mess, but she knows that she can go into this space, and that is her sanctuary. That is where she can go and read, write, journal, and do whatever she wants to do, because that is now her dedicated space. She said that is the only space that she focuses on every single day, where she can come in and feel relieved and calm, because she focused on that. And from that space, that's where she journals, that's where she writes, that's where that environmental change changed how she actually saw everything else in her life. Because now she is now moving on to getting married and having kids and all that good stuff. So that just that one little thing of that room transformed how she envisioned everything else around her. She now takes everything in snippets and she takes pictures. And I was like, wow, that is really amazing. I haven't worked with her in a while, but we still stay in touch. And that's one of the things about coaching that I love, is that you gain a connection with your clients, and and it's something that is sacred, between you and them. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful feeling. So that was probably the transformation that sticks out to me the most, as it relates to my business.
Yeah, that's a really great story. And I think the connections that you make with your clients, and then seeing that transformation, that really just keeps you going and keeps you motivated, knowing that you are really making an impact into people's lives.
Yes. And what happens is, when you're able to make that impact, when I'm able to make that impact into their life, they're able to make that impact into the lives of the people that are around them. Yeah. So it is just rewarding for me to see that that my clients, when they leave, they not only do they have a transformation for them, but then their family members and their friends and the people who they interact with, their coworkers, their colleagues, can see that transformation, can see that difference also. And sometimes it's hard for us to see ourselves, because we can sometimes be our worst critics. But when you have a friend or someone that you trust can say, hey, I see that, you're a lot more calmer. You are, you get things done a little bit more on time, and they can actually see that transformation in you. It makes you say, yeah, this is working for me. So yeah.
Very cool. Now let's talk a little bit about your journey as an entrepreneur. I can't remember if you stated how long you've been in business. When did you get started?
Well, I started my business. I started Crushing Goals with Karen back in 2017. Okay. 2017. And it was last year in April that I actually received my certification, through the Coach Training Alliance. And that is in 2000. Let me see, this is 23. In 2021 is when I really became serious about my business and coaching and getting the certifications and setting up the LLCs and all the things that I needed to do, learning more about marketing and putting myself out there. Because, as an introvert, we like to we like to keep everything close to the chest. We don't, we really don't expand and branch out too much. And that is when I started. And now I am more, how can you say it? How can I say it? I am more open, about my journey and sharing with people what I do and how I do it and why I do it. And that journey has been scary because, oftentimes I felt alone. I felt like, who's going to understand me? Is there anyone else out here like me? Sometimes you think you're the only one. And I realized that, Karen, you really have to tap into people's emotions and people's thoughts, because a lot of times people suffer a lot in silence because, that's what has happened to me, is that I suffered in silence for so long that I didn't know whether I was coming or going. And when I started my coaching practice, I often wondered, will people actually want to work with me? And I decided that, Karen, your people are going to come regardless. You're going to interact and you're going to connect with the right individuals. So as I started my journey, it was hard, it was difficult, it was scary, it was all those feelings and emotions. And what I did, I'm going to be honest, I hired me a coach. I hired someone that could actually relate to what I was going through to help me overcome those obstacles and transform. So since then, I've published my website. I have a YouTube, I have all the things. I have resources now, more resources now to help my clients with a better transformation.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, you mentioned feeling alone, and I think that's a common feeling with entrepreneurs, even though there are so many of us out there. Yeah. Have you connected like with your peers? Have you built yourself like a little community of support to help you? Because I find that that's really important to have, because like your friends, your family, they don't really understand what's happening. And so, yeah, I was just wondering if do you have some business besties to help you?
Yes, I do. I have. Yes. And I think that's one of the things that is so important. Whatever journey you're on, make sure that you surround yourself with people who have kind of been there, done that, understand it. But yes, I have several business besties. I have my business bestie. Her business is something totally different than mine. Even though the struggle is still the same, whether you're a service or a product provider. But yes, I have a business bestie who helps me bounce my ideas and everything off. I have a marketing guru that I have on speed dial. I have someone that helps me with my copywriting and my editing for everything. Now, these are individuals that I have worked with in the past. And whenever I get stuck, I just kind of ping them and ask them if they can review it, make sure it makes sense, it sounds good, it flows well. So having individuals in that journey that you can kind of reach out and touch is so critical.
Absolutely. What advice would you give to other introverted women who are just starting their business?
I would tell them to ensure that they make one good connection, because it only takes that one person to help you get out of your shell. It only takes that one, right? Yeah. So find you that one person. And then as you find that person, then you'll start to find yourself branching out and doing other things, other events, virtual workshops, marketing events, women who are able to understand and connect with you. Facebook is like one of my, I have more groups on my Facebook page than I do friends and family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, you really want to ensure that you embrace yourself around individuals who can understand and relate to you and respect your comfort level, because as introverts, it's very difficult for us to take that one step. And that's why I said, if you have that one trusted friend that you can talk to and that can help cheer you on as you go through this entrepreneurship journey, it will make such a difference, and you will be able to see your light shine. It's not going to shine loud and bright, maybe like an extroverted entrepreneur, but you will be able to see your light shine. And that's the best and the biggest advice that I can give, just that one person, because it only takes one to change how you see things, how you see yourself. It only takes that one person, that one statement, that one encouragement. So there's so much power in one.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that. That is really great advice. Karen, it has been wonderful chatting with you. Before we wrap up, I wanted to give you an opportunity to share where our listeners can find more information about you.
Yes, they can find me. I am on YouTube at Crushing Goals with Karen. I am also on Instagram, and my Instagram handle is KGoals with Karen. And you can also visit me on my website, which is kgoalswithkaren.com.
Excellent. So we'll definitely check you out on your website and your social media. Thank you so much for joining me today, Karen.
Thank you so much for having me. I certainly appreciated the opportunity.
Yes. And thank you to our audience for listening. This has been another episode of the Building Her Dream podcast. If you've enjoyed it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, leave us a review, and stay up to date with what we're doing by visiting www.buildingherdream.com.